Alright folks, welcome to American History class with Skillshot 3 and K22. Today, we're going to be teaching you about the weapons of World War II. And we thought, you know what, we're going to bring this to Call of Duty World War II itself. So we're here in Normandy, France today, liberated after D-Day. And we're going to be showing off a few of the weapons that were actually used in the real World War II. First one I got here is the STG-44. It was a weapon developed by Nazi Germany. It was first designed in 1942, but it was first used in the war in 1943. And it was actually a really successful weapon for them, but it was too late since it came in 1943, and it didn't have much of an impact on the war, and Germany still lost. But it was designed by Hugo Schmeisser, and it weighed 10 pounds with no magazine, but with the magazine in it, it weighed 11.3 pounds. It fired 550 to 600 rounds per minute, which is probably not quite as fast as what it is in game. I think the game's exaggerated a little bit, but this is how fast it shoots in the game. So that's probably more like 660-ish. Yeah, actually, in the game it's 666. That's not a good number, but that's what it actually is in the game. So it's a little slower than that, but its magazine, just like in the game, was actually a 30-round detachable magazine. So after I shoot my 30 rounds like this, it puts in the new magazine with 30 bullets in it again. Yeah, that's the STG-44 for you guys. Alright, folks. Move the face cam over here, as you can see, so I'm over on the right side. But now we're looking at the PPSH-41, which is a submachine gun used by the Soviets in World War II. It's a Russian gun, and a little fun fact here, one of its nicknames is the Papa Shah, which actually means daddy in Russian. So, the PPSH submachine gun, as I said, it was designed in 1941. There were about 6 million of these bad boys built. It weighed 8 pounds, which actually seems pretty big for a SMG, but it actually shot 900 to over 1,000 rounds per minute, which is insanely fast. In the game, it only shoots about 770 rounds per minute or something like that. So I'll show you guys this bad boy here. Yep, that's how fast it shoots in the game. That's about 770, but it shot a lot faster than that. It went like, you know what I'm saying? So, it had a 35 round box magazine, which you can see here, or you could actually have a 71 round drum magazine. It was a big circle one, held 71 rounds. So that is the PPSH for you guys.
Folks, now we got the M1 Garand here, and it was a standard US rifle, and it's actually a semi-auto rifle, and it was used by the US from 1936 to 1959, so quite a while. And it was actually designed in 1928, and it weighed about 9.5 pounds to 11.6 pounds. It was a 30-06 Springfield ammo type. Rate of fire was 40 to 50 rounds per minute, and that's just because it's like a semi-auto gun, so it's not full auto. And its feed system, it can only hold 8 rounds before you had to change your magazines. And that's about it.
Alright folks, this is the Browning automatic rifle, also known as the M1918 Browning automatic rifle. Well, I received an invitation from Ballin 223. But this gun is a United States light machine gun It was in service from 1918 to actually the early 1970s, so it was in service for quite a bit. It was created by my boy John Browning, and it shot 500 to 650 rounds per minute, so this is probably pretty accurate of what it is in game. A little bit like that. Yeah, that's about all we got. Oh, it also had a 20 round detachable box magazine, just like in this game. It has 20 rounds, reloaded just like so. And that is the Browning automatic rifle.
I got the M3 submachine gun, and this was also used by the U.S. in the war, and it was designed by George Hyde in 1942, so right around when World War II started. And there's roughly 622,000 made for the war. Had a few variants used throughout the war. It weighed 8.5 pounds, and that's empty. And then like another variant it had weighed 7.95 pounds empty. And it was and its length was 29.1 from stock to the front. And the cartridge it would shoot is a .45 bullet, and its rate of fire is a 450. So I'd say that's about the same as they have it. And its effective firing range was 100 yards, so about the range of a submachine gun. And it could hold 30 rounds, and that's about equal to what it can hold, or is equal to what it can hold in this game. And that's about it.
Alright, next weapon on the list is the MP40, which stands for Maschinenpistole 40 in German. It was a submachine gun developed for Nazi Germany during World War II, and it was in service from 1938 to 1945. There were 1.1 million of these built, and it was pretty popular among German infantrymen. It weighed 8.75 pounds. It held a 32 round detachable box magazine, just like in this game. I'm going to reload that right there. 32 rounds. And it shot 500 to 550 rounds per minute, which is not quite the same as in game. In game it shoots about 700. So this, and then a little bit slower than that, something like that bad boy right there is what it really shot. So yeah, that is the MP40 submachine gun.
Alright guys, I got the MP35, which is the Maschinenpistole 35 in German, and as you guys can guess, it was used by Nazi Germany in the war, and it is a submachine gun, and it roughly was in service from 1935 to 1945, so about 10 years. It was designed in 1932. It weighed a whopping 9.3 pounds unloaded, and it shot a 9 times 19 millimeter Luger. And as you guys can see, it shot 540 rounds per minute, but obviously that's not what it shoots in game. This roughly shoots 1,200, so a big difference there. And its reload's a little different. It reloads from the side and not like straight down like normal guns. So like you just take the clip out of the side, and its effective firing range was 150 to 200 meters, so a little longer for a submachine gun. And its feed system is a roughly 24 or 32 round detachable magazine, and that just depended on like the style you used. And that is roughly the MP35.
Okay, this next one is the Kar 98K, or the Karabiner 98K. It's a bolt action rifle, so it shoots a little like this. You have to rechamber after each shot. It was actually the standard service rifle from the Germans in World War II, and this was actually the primary rifle for the Germans until the end of the war, and it's still actually used today. It's been in service since 1935, and there have been 14.6 million built. It had a 5-round stripper clip, is what it was called. There's 7 in this one, because I have extended mags on in the game, but there usually are 5. So once I shoot my 5, I gotta reload it. And there we go. So that is the Kar 98K.
Alright, folks, I got the M1928 Thompson, and you guys might be thinking this looks like the Tommy gun. And yeah, it is a submachine gun. It was used by the United States and Great Britain during the war, and it was actually introduced in 1928, and it roughly weighed empty 172 ounces, so that's pretty light, and it shot 11.43 millimeter round, so a small boy. And its magazine size ranged from 18 to 20 or even 30, and that's because like the different like sizes they had on there, like depending on it. It also could have like a drum clip, which is like a circular, almost like frisbee looking thing that you can attach, and those could either hold 50 or 100 bullets, so you could be spraying for a long time. And this thing did not have the greatest range in the world. It was only really accurate at 55 yards, then started to fall apart. And its rate of fire was roughly 700 rounds per minute, and in the game it's roughly 900, so close representation. So yeah guys, that is the M1928 Thompson.
Alright, next gun is the Sten, which is a British submachine gun right here. It was a pretty simple design, and it was cheap to produce, so there were a lot of them produced for the British. Over 4 million were actually made during its service time of 1941 to the 1960s. An interesting factoid, Sten actually stands for the people's last names that designed the gun, which was Shepard, Turpin, and then the EN was for Enfield. So that's what the Sten stands for. You can see its design right here. It shoots about 600 rounds per minute, which is pretty accurate to how it was in the game. And it had a 32 round magazine, which is what it is in the game too, but I have extended mags on once again. So once I shot those 32, you reload that bad boy, and there you go. That's the Sten.
Alright folks, I got the Lewis gun, and this is a light machine gun, and it was used by the United States and United Kingdom, and it was in service from 1914 to all the way up to 1953. And its designer was your boy Isaac Newton, not the Isaac Newton you're thinking of, Isaac Newton Lewis. And it was designed in 1911. There's quite a few variants for it, just depending on like what they needed it for. It weighed a whopping 28 pounds, so it was a big boy to carry around for war. And it roughly was like if you stand the stock to the ground and then just had the barrel pointing straight up. It was 123 inches, so quite tall, and it shot a 30-06 Springfield cartridge. Its rate of fire was roughly 500 to 600, and I'd say that's pretty accurate in this game. And it had a different kind of magazine. It was a drum mag, but so all it did was spin around on top of the gun and shoot, and then to reload you just pop it off and then slap a new one back on. And its max firing range was 3,500 yards, but its effective firing range was 800 yards. And cool thing about this is it has like a tripod, so you can lay, so like people in the trenches could lay down and like sit on the trenches, and the tripod would help them so they can stay steady without having the gun recoil too much. Because if you imagine, you don't have many guys standing up with this thing trying to shoot. And it roughly had a 47 or 97 round hand magazine, and that's just a little disc on top. And yeah, guys, that is the Lewis gun. For our final weapon, I will be doing the Lee Enfield. And this is a bolt action rifle, so they used it for sniping, so every time you took a shot, you had to chamber in a new round. And it was used by the United Kingdom. And one of the variants they made was in service from 1895 to 1926, but then a second variant they made was in service from 1904 to present day now, so that one is still in use. It was designed by James Paris Lee Enfield, so hence its name, and then produced for each variant. The MLE variant was produced from 1895 to 1904, and then the SMLE variant is from 1904 to present time. And there's roughly been 17 million plus of these guns built, and also depending on your variant of gun, wavered in how much it weighed, but it was roughly around the 9-pound mark. And its cartridge, it shot a .303 MK, and its rate of fire was 20 to 30 aim shots per minute, because it was a sniper, and you know, very talented snipers could probably shoot this real fast. And its maximum firing range was 3,000 yards, but an effective sniper could shoot roughly 550 yards, so that's out there quite a ways. And it had a 10-round magazine, and all you had to do for the magazine was you open up the bolt and then you drop in your shells, so it wasn't like how you'd think of kind of hunting rifles today where like you have a clip and you put your clip in. And yeah, guys, that is the Enfield.
Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you enjoyed our presentation. And that's about it. Fortnite update installed. You know we on that now.